doing this live after a long while, but I had so much work to do and I was hoping to finish up on my assignments while continuing doing this live. And today I wanted to talk about something different. Like, I've been telling you all about my China experience, but this time I thought I would share more about my Schwarzman experience with you guys. And I'm speaking very quietly because it's 11:40 in the night here. I hope you can still hear me well, but I don't want to disturb my neighbors. Oh, one thing you can see in the background, I actually decorated my room. I put some fairy lights on and some pictures and wall decorations, so my room actually looks pretty nice and cozy today. So this was my first Christmas away from home and first like festival season, uh, surrounded by people who actually liked Christmas. And this was the first time I shared that I saw snowfall, which was so much fun. But there is, on one hand, there is the China experience that I'm getting. On the other hand, there is the Schwarzman experience, which is the college where I'm studying and which is a scholarship that I got. And I thought I've shared a lot about the China experience. I do want to share more about the Schwarzman experience. It's a very competitive fellowship if you know about it, and for those who are unaware about anything that's happening, still join the live. I should give you some context. So I'm here in Beijing studying Masters in Global Affairs, and the Schwarzman Scholars is actually a fully funded program and it is highly competitive. It has less acceptance rate than even Rhodes Scholar, but it was a way to get people from different countries here in China to tell them more about like the China story, Chinese perspective on things, and just clearly improving their understanding of this country, which is completely behind the Iron Curtain. Because as you guys know, like you don't necessarily get much information about China out there, and same way in China you don't get like as clear information about other countries as possible. So for my Schwarzman experience, why I chose to come here was clearly the general curiosity that anyone would have about a country that they've only heard about but never visited, and this seemed like a very good opportunity. I was really glad to have gotten it. When I received the scholarship, I could not believe my eyes, and I I saw the email and it was very surprising because there are people like this year the new cohort has been announced. I'm very happy about the people that got in, but this year only 3 people from India have gotten this scholarship. Back when I got it, it's 7 of us in this cohort, so it's pretty amazing like getting such opportunities which are like once in a lifetime. But more context about the program. The schedule here is very hectic because on one hand it is an academic program, so I am getting a master's degree, because of which of course the classes are going to be really rigorous, academically rigorous, and it involves different aspects. It's about international relations, global affairs, it is about understanding a little bit about China, but you can also select your specific pathways, which are things that you would want to study here. So there are people who are interested in artificial intelligence, people who are interested in climate change, and for me particularly, the pathway that I'm taking this year is about non-proliferation of weapons, which, considering that I'm from Jammu and Kashmir, should not be a surprise. And after once the program started and I arrived in Beijing, I did not come with a lot of expectations. I had no idea what to, I had no idea what life here would be like, but I came with a very optimistic attitude, and that has worked well for me so far because the kind of people that I met here, the kind of community that you have is really, it's really different than what you would expect. Firstly, this is my first multicultural experience, so that in itself speaks volumes because I have. You should take your glasses off. I'm still reading stuff as well, but I know the reflection is getting there. Okay, that's easier for me to But yeah, so I was talking about coming here. um, I did not know what to expect, like from the community, how people were going to be, how accepting they were going to be about a person who has like never been in an international environment before. But so far, everyone has been really welcoming. A couple of things that I wanted to share about my experiences. I've always been the kind of person who loved traveling a lot, and that is the one thing that I appreciate here, because China is huge and diverse. But even though the program is so academically rigorous, I'm so glad that we still get weekends off, and I've had enough chance to experience not only Beijing but a couple other cities in China. So I've been able to travel as much as I wanted to. The other thing was that the kind of community and the kind of friendships that you build here, that that surprises me to the extent, because people here really feel like they want to be part of a community, and that reflects in the way that people come in support of each other whenever there's an event happening. They just join each other. And the reason I'm talking about this in English, like many people keep commenting that talk about it in Hindi, the reason I'm commenting about this in English is because there are a lot of people who try finding about stuff of this scholarship, like is it worth it, should we come here, what's the experience like, what should we do once we come here, and do we get to travel, do we not get to travel, is it academically rigorous. All these questions that I'm answering are stuff that people actually reach out to me on LinkedIn and Instagram asking questions about. So that's why I'm choosing English language, because some of those people that reach out are not only from India, and I want this to reach to as many people as possible. Of course, I'll do another one in Hindi for more people in India to know about as well. And so yeah, so one thing that was mentioning, like the community part of it, um, it really does take a lot of effort on your part as well, which I've realized. Because if you just like expect people to be friendly to you, then you're going to make a lot of acquaintances but not a lot of friends. And I feel happy that in the initial few weeks I made that effort to connect with people as much as I could. And even this time, because Christmas was happening and people here like really love Christmas, we have an entire event here, a winter ball, a family kind of dinner and party, everything for Christmas. And even though we had classes on Christmas Day, which was really surprising, I've never ever attended classes on Christmas Day apart from like this year. So when Christmas was around the corner and I received some gifts from people, and people like hug you, wish you, and there's just so much joy all around, that makes you appreciate the kind of environment you're in. And that is one thing that is really good in Schwarzman, because it's not just about the people who are studying here with me, but within groups there are, wherever you go you can always find a Schwarzman scholar, and it's a very close knit group, which is amazing. The other aspect of it, which I did not expect this, but I'm so glad, is the level of speakers that come here to interact with us and talk to us about leadership. Because yeah, this course focuses a lot on leadership. So we have had former prime ministers visiting. We have had such amazing research scholars who are like most cited research scholars in IR, visiting our college, talking to us, interacting with us, giving us guest lectures, but also like sharing their personal experience with us. And even, like while I'm doing my research work, I'm doing my research work under an academician who's known to like project an alternate point of view in international relations theory, and he's like so respected. So it's amazing the kind of opportunities that you get while you're here, just these interactions with people who you would otherwise never be able to meet, like people who are on the international advisory board of AIIB, people who have worked for the UN, and you get to not only meet these people but interact with them on a daily basis if you want to, or like actually build connections. I have talked to some of these people, and like who are my professors, some of them who are guest speakers. Just those interactions with people who have so much wisdom really adds value to like your knowledge bank as well. And I know some of you have been like mentioning that why are you not active on TSL anymore, why I'm not like doing video stories. I will try to be as active as I wish to, but there's so much to do here. There's literally so much to do here. I have no time. I am making a lot of videos and I will be posting them on my page and on Straight Lines page as well as soon as I get some time to edit them. But I have so many assignments and all these things to be finished. So, and whenever I do get time, I spend that time traveling. I spend the time like going to parties, just enjoying myself and like spending these events. Like tonight before this, I was attending an open mic, and if you go on my Instagram and see my stories, there was such amazing open mic happening, and these people are so talented. There were people playing piano, there were people singing, doing magic tricks, doing rap, and just like being completely amazing. So that, and one thing that is missing, I do see, like, to give everyone a fair view, it is very US and China centric. So when I came to this program, I expected, because they have such a diverse cohort, I was not expecting it to be like very US and China centric, but to some extent it is. But there are ways of dealing with that. So when we have reached out to professors or instructors and told them, like, if you're making comparisons, it shouldn't always be US China. Sometimes it should be India China. Sometimes it should be other countries. Sometimes it should not be China at all. Sometimes it should be just like, what are the ideas that work better in other countries economically and something that China could learn from. So because we are in China and the product itself is like very related, the entire program itself is very much related to it. Of course, that's what they're going to do, but yeah, there should be inclusion of other perspectives as well. And even though US China do dominate the conversations, there should be inclusion of, you know, stories from other countries as well. And to, like, I've seen this program like change a lot over the period. Like, ever since we arrived, there are so many changes that have happened just because people have pointed it out and they've been so accepting of other opinions. And that is one thing. The other thing is, being here allows you to have the freedom to think about your future, to think about your future career path. I know my volume is less, but it's almost midnight here, so I'm not screaming. I could put on like a mic or something, but this was like a really low effort thing. I was not expecting too many people to join anyway. I was thinking this will be there for later. I'll be putting this on YouTube so more people can like access this. But I thought it was necessary to share that experience. One thing is that, of course, I miss working. I miss journalism. But since I'm here as a student, I don't do as many stories as I would like to. Of course, I'll be posting more. And yeah, that's the interesting aspect. There's so much happening in my life. I visited Hong Kong, I visited Xi'an, I visited Zhangjiajie, I visited so many places, and I have so many videos and photos of that place that I wish to share with you guys. Another aspect of it is, within China, I've witnessed how safe it is to travel. And even though I don't have the language skills, like I don't speak Chinese yet, still I've been able to navigate my way through subways, still I've been able to navigate the apps, still I've been able to like interact with people and figure my way out without being hesitant and without being scared for some reason. That's been very empowering. That's been like fun conversations that I've had with people with my broken Chinese. And so you don't necessarily need to know the language to be able to, you know, participate in this program or come here. And yeah, well, people are asking why I'm not doing any more news. I will be doing, I promise I'll be doing more. And I'll be like posting more vlogs and stuff as well on YouTube and Facebook, so keep your eye out on that. I recently did a video about Article 370 judgment, so you can watch that if you haven't already. And that's it. I'll do more lives, talk to you more. I feel like live is easier as compared to like editing videos, and it's like very low effort. So you might be seeing me more on live than videos. And next time I join, I'll be keeping in mind about my volume levels, and if I need a mic, I'll use a mic. Oh, how can you talk continuously without taking any pause? It's amazing. Oh, just a lot of habit of talking to camera. I've just gotten used to it by now. Public speaking is still kind of hard for me. I mean, back in Jammu and Kashmir, I was like interacting with a lot of journalism students and interacting with people in general, and I didn't feel any hesitance. But here I've been like very mindful about the things that I say, because you know the stakes are higher, and it's easier to like talk to people while you're instructing them about something. It's much harder to like be able to express your opinion with people who might have conflicting opinions. So that way, when you're like discussing, and there's so many discussion sessions happening, so when those happen, you have to be like really mindful about the things that you speak about, and I like to be prepared. So sometimes I do get like, it gets on my nerves, but yeah, you need to put in the effort to be able to see the results. And that's just a life lesson. That's not particularly about this program. That's just a life lesson. That's something you should be doing at all times, no matter what your profession is, no matter what your career is. And okay, now fun stuff. I have tried good food here, and it's not as people say like sab kuch bekar hi kha rahe hain. It's not like that. You can find a lot of like really yummy spicy food, which is way different than Chinese back home. The kind of food that we've been eating on the name of Chinese food is not. It's you cannot find a single thing here. You cannot find like Manchurian here. You cannot find like chow mein here. That's all Indo-Chinese. And Indo-Chinese is like very yummy. But Chinese food is entirely different. People eat so much tofu here, which I'm surprised by. I don't know. I have not been in societies where people eat so much tofu. So that's there. Oh, wait. Checking my messages as well. Yeah, nothing. Just checking my messages as well. So what's happening? Yeah. So that is one thing, the food aspect of it. The weather. For the first time, I saw snowfall. Like, I've seen snow on the ground when we visit Patnitop or when we go to Kashmir or somewhere, but I had not seen like actual snowfall before I came here. So that was an amazing experience, especially on Christmas. So, but it gets as cold as -14 here. But when you're inside, you can be like wearing a t-shirt and be fine because of central heating. It's so, I mean, it's kind of a hassle, but still, I have to like hang a coat on my door. So every time I have to step outside, I have to wear like thick clothing, like coats and hats and caps and muffler and everything. And as soon as you step inside, because it's so hot, you have to like step down to a t-shirt. So the weather is a bit unruly. And about the weather as well, like in Beijing, especially during winter, it's not just the cold and the temperature which bothers you, it's the wind. When it's cold, it's so windy, and your face feels like it's frozen. So most of the people that I've seen after COVID, they've still continued wearing masks, mainly because it's freezing outside and people have put on masks. Yes, I'm reading comments. You want me to say something in Chinese language? I can just say ni hao, wu jiao, Pallavi. So I know how to introduce myself. I know like basic stuff, like how do you get in a taxi? How do you ask where's the washroom? How do you ask where's the subway station? So basic stuff. But yeah, learning a new language, that in itself it's difficult, but it's so good. It's good for your brain. It's good for the additional level of skills that you acquire. I am glad that I'm learning the hardest language in the world. But yeah, let's see how if I can learn it as much as I want to, because I've seen people who've spent 7-8 years of their life just learning Chinese, and when they arrived here, they realized it's pretty difficult. They were expecting that they were on a different level, but it turned out that they were on a different level entirely. Say something. So many demands for me asking to speak different languages. Like, why? Which place is most beautiful in here? Xi'an. Xi'an has been so far the most beautiful place that I've visited. It's the most historical city. There's a terracotta army museum that everyone comes here to visit, and it's very, like, it's pretty amazing. It's historic, it's amazing. It has a lot of, like, the culture in Xi'an is very different than rest of China. And there's a Muslim street. Did you know there's a Muslim street in Xi'an? And it has, like, all kinds of street food, which is completely halal. And the kind of stuff that we hear about Muslims in China, I did not expect that to happen, but it is there. And in Xi'an, you have, like, these bell towers. You have a giant pagoda. You have a Buddhist pagoda in Xi'an. And do you know what's there on the boards? Like, I'm making a vlog on this and I'll be sharing this. It mentions that a monk went to India, learned about a lot of things about Buddhism, came back to China, and wrote about those things that he had learned on leaves, like leaves from a tree, because there was no paper at that time. And that's why the name of that particular form of Buddhism is something related to tree leaves. So I have made an entire vlog on that. I will be sharing that. But seeing that, like, linkages between India and China through Buddhism, that was very interesting. And I have visited, like, some more temples here, which, like, Buddhist temples, and that is very much, like, related to India. And I've seen, like, when I talk to people, okay, it's a funny story, but I met, like, a taxi driver, and I told him, like, in my broken Chinese, hi, where are you from, and all those things, like, general conversation that you have. Like, us Indians will love having conversations. So I did too. And when I said that I'm Indian, he said, oh, I know a lot about India. I love India. I want to visit India. And he was talking to me about G20, and I could not understand anything at that point. I had to take out a translator. But I like the appreciation, of course, when you're in a different situation, when you're in a different country. That time when you hear something good about your country, you of course feel very happy. Okay. And so that's it. That's it for the program part of it and China part of it. So now I can shift languages to talk about general stuff. तो हिंदी में अगर थोड़ा यहाँ के बारे में बात करूँ तो काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है कि ऐसे एक प्रोग्राम है जहाँ पे अलग अलग कंट्री से लोग आए हैं, तो आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीखने को भी मिलती है, राइट? तो बहुत सारे लोगों से जब इंटरेक्शंस हुई तो वो अपनी कंट्री के बारे में बताते हैं कि वहाँ पे किस तरीके खाने पीने की चीज़ें हैं, किस तरीके का कल्चर है, किस तरीके के डांस फॉर्म्स एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, सब चीज़ों को लेकर बात होती है. तो आई हैव लर्न सो मच इंटरेस्टिंग स्टफ अबाउट अदर कंट्रीज. यानी कि यहाँ तक कि कुछ ऐसे जानवरों के नाम है जो कभी सुने भी नहीं थे, विच आर सो कॉमन इन सम अदर कंट्री. और जब बात होती है या वो कोई स्टोरी सुनाते हैं, यू आर लाइक, ओह व्हाट्स दैट, and they point out and they tell you a whole story about it. These are interesting facts. But यहाँ पे I made some of the people from other countries try out Indian snacks, try out hajmola and stuff, and उसकी भी video बनाई है, वो भी I'll be sharing. I have so much content that I have prepared that you guys should watch, but I should be more active in posting them. I should edit them and actually post them. So this live is just me telling you कि there's so much stuff that I've prepared and you should watch them. Also, I have not changed that much. बहुत लोग कह रहे हैं कि you have changed, or I have not changed that much. It's just like the camera angle and the ring light for some reason, which is making me look different. Still the same person from the outside and from the inside. पहले भी मुझे ये लोग बोलते हैं कि अंग्रेजी बहुत बोलते हैं, अब मुझे ये बोलते हैं, तो like nothing much has changed, okay? come to. I've been missing food from home so much. I'm not even joking. If there's one thing that I miss a lot, it's like food from home. Like राजमा चावल खाए हुए ज़माना हो गया. I miss राजमा चावल. I miss Kashmiri वाज़वान. I miss like kachalu. I miss kachalu. I miss all kinds of like home food. And the ring light is there only for the reason because I like keeping the light dim in my room because it looks cute with the fairy lights, right? But this helps when I'm recording stuff. And this I got as a Christmas gift. Would you believe? I got a tripod and a ring light as a Christmas gift because यहाँ पे भी लोगों को like they see my Instagram videos and they know I create content. So one of those persons actually gave me a ring light and a tripod, which I'm really happy. I would have not bought this for myself. I indulge in stuff, I buy gadgets and I buy clothes and stuff, but I would not have bought this for myself. So I'm glad I got this as a gift. And there's so much stuff, like most of the stuff that's hanging on my wall, that also I got as a gift, like those pictures and that drawing. One thing though, यहाँ पर इस प्रोग्राम में इस बार 7 लोग हम इंडियन पासपोर्ट होल्डर्स हैं. उसके अलावा भी 4-5 लाइक इंडियन ओरिजिन के, अमेरिकन या इंडियन ओरिजिन के, ऑस्ट्रेलियन या इंडियन ओरिजिन के अन्य लोग. So it's approximately like 11 of us who are from India, and then there are 4-5 other South Asians as well. तो इस बार के प्रोग्राम में like South Asian group सबसे बड़ा है, and we did a South Asia 101, which was a presentation. So presentation में we just like told people about South Asia कि like just basically there are some people who could not even distinguish between India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. तो उनको बस ये बताना कि भाई ये 3 अलग-अलग countries है, कैसे बनी partition, ये वो सारी like history 101 देना, geography के बारे में बताना, culture के बारे में, खाने पीने के बारे में, languages के बारे में. Like we did an entire deep dive into telling those people about our countries, our culture and everything. I spoke about, of course, Jammu and Kashmir, food, languages, all sorts of stuff. And there are other people who spoke about other aspects. Even people are interested in basic stuff like marriage culture, like arranged marriages and stuff. हर एक चीज़ के बारे में people are so curious and they keep asking you stuff, which I find very cute. And that's why I thought like these are things that you take for granted because like yes, like who wants to know about these things? But yeah, they do. Oh yeah, people. Some Jahangir Rathar, you're mentioning that when you come back, we will make you eat Kashmiri Vasan. I will hold you to that promise because that is something that I really, really miss. Okay, did you get any information about COVID-19? Not about COVID-19 particularly because यहाँ पे COVID I mean after zero COVID there's nothing much happening with COVID. यहाँ पे nobody is worried about COVID. मतलब airport पे I have been taking trains, I've been getting on flights अलग-अलग जगह travel करने के लिए. Nobody bothers checking your vaccine certificate. Nobody bothers questioning you about anything related to COVID. I have not seen anything related to COVID ever since I arrived. Not a single thing. Like I said, लोग अगर मास्क पहन रहे हैं ना, क्यों पहन रहे हैं? अगर उनको जुकाम है तो मास्क पहन रहे हैं, अदरवाइज ठंड से बचने के लिए मास्क पहन रहे हैं. Nobody is wearing mask. Nobody is doing anything. But जब निमोनिया के केसेस आने शुरू हुए थे, to some extent they are right. Because I was following like Chinese news channels and everything, and I was like talking to people जो अलग-अलग areas में रहते हैं, उनसे भी बहुत सारे लोगों से interaction हुई. And there were people जिनकी family sick हो रही थी, but it was mostly among kids. And ये पूरा जो कह रहे थे ना कि एक और pandemic तो नहीं आ गया कहीं चाइना में, वही निमोनिया को लेके, तो उसके related I talked to people. I was like, obviously if there's apprehensions we should find out as a journalist. काम है, ढूंढना तो पड़ेगा. तो मुझे ये मालूम चला कि फर्स्ट इट वाज ओनली हैपनिंग अमंग किड्स. दूसरा कि 1-1.5 महीने पहले ही वार्निंग दे दी थी यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी, जो मीडिया चैनल्स में वार्निंग दे दी थी कि ऐसे ऐसे केसेस आने वाले हैं, ये सीज़न आने वाला है और ये ऐसे ऐसे लोग बीमार हो रहे हैं, तो पेनिसिलिन का स्टॉक बढ़ा दिया और पता नहीं अलग अलग जो मेडिसिन उनका स्टॉक बढ़ा दिया गया है. अगर आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो आप इस टोल फ्री नंबर पे कांटेक्ट करें. ये सारी चीज़ें पहले ही मतलब शेयर कर दी थी. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा था, तो हो रहा था, बट इट वॉज नॉट टू लाइक दैट मच एक्सटेंट. एंड लाइक हम लोग बीजिंग में थे, हमें मालूम भी नहीं था. कुछ लोग गोयलिन गए थे, विच इज़ मोर रूरल एरिया. तो उन लोगों में वो लोग थोड़े बीमार हुए थे एंड वापस आए, तो उसके बाद सब ठीक हो गए. नोबडी हैड टू बी लाइक हॉस्पिटलाइज और एनीथिंग एंड नोबडी वाज लाइक सीरियसली सिक. और आई वाज इन शेंजन एट दैट टाइम जब ये सारा हो रहा था. एंड सम पीपल से कि बीजिंग वाज द एपिसेंटर, बट जहाँ बीजिंग में भी आया तो बाहर मैं तो बहुत घूमी हूँ, मुझे तो कुछ नहीं दिखा. So I can't say that nothing was happening. Something might have been happening, but it was not like the proportion was not alarming. Are you missing routine journalism there? Media culture यहाँ पे कैसे? मुझे बताने की ज़रूरत है क्या? क्या सब नहीं जानते कि यहाँ पे कैसा है? But since I'm here, like I'm focusing mainly on studies. I'm focusing on like global issues. I'm focusing on like understanding the depth of issues in China, understanding China better basically, which most of people should do. Like my research is also going to be something about that. So the idea is कि उन कंट्रीज में तो सब जाना चाहते हैं जो काफ़ी सुहावनी लगती हैं. ऐसी कंट्रीज में आके देखो ना जहाँ लोगों को जिसके बारे में कुछ ज़्यादा पता ना हो, जिसको लेके बहुत सारे मिसकंसेप्शंस. अब देखो जैसे हम JNK में भी जब काम कर रहे थे, JNK में लेके लोगों को कितने मिसकंसेप्शंस थे, बट व्हेन वी वर्कड, व्हेन वी रिपोर्टेड देयर, कितनी सारी चीज़ें हम खुद ही क्लैरिफाई करते थे, राइट? तो वही चीज़ है कि यार आप जब तक किसी जगह को अच्छे से समझोगे नहीं, वहाँ जाओगे नहीं, तब तक आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? तब तक तो आपकी सारी अजम्पशंस आपके दिमाग में ही है ना. एंड नॉट टू से कि स्टीरियोटाइप्स कभी हकीकत पे बेस नहीं होते, हकीकत पे बेस होते हैं, लेकिन until you have first hand experience can you actually like reveal. तो मीडिया कल्चर के बारे में one thing I found surprising was बहुत सारी मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस चाइना की ऐसी हैं जिनका अपना फेसबुक अकाउंट, यूट्यूब अकाउंट और ट्विटर अकाउंट एंड इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट एंड सब कुछ है. इवन तो बहुत सारे लोग हैं कि जो कहते हैं कि यार ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पे ये सारी ऐप्स बैंड हैं, तो हाउ आर दे वर्किंग इन ये वो, बट यू कैन मेक देम वर्क इन. यहाँ की मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से आउटरीच ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को भी मालूम है कि यार ये सोशल मीडिया कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है. सिर्फ इनका अपना चाइनीज सोशल मीडिया नहीं, चाइनीज सोशल मीडिया इज तो ह्यूज हिट हियर. मतलब डोइन और टिकटॉक का चाइनीज वर्जन हो, बहुत सारी ऐप्स का चाइनीज वर्जन है जो बहुत पॉपुलर है, बट उनको भी रियलाइजेशन है कि ये सारी ऐप्स कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड आई वॉज टॉकिंग टू वन पर्सन हु मेंशन्ड कि यहाँ के न्यूज़ आउटलेट्स यूट्यूब पे पर डे 200 वीडियोस पोस्ट करते हैं. 200 वीडियोस, इमेजिन 200 वीडियोस पर डे. हमारे नेशनल इंटरनेशनल मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस 200 वीडियोस पर डे नहीं पोस्ट करते. यहाँ पे ब्लोज माय माइंड कितना कंटेंट क्रिएट करते हैं. एंड दे आर वेरी फोकस्ड कि उनको चाइनीज लैंग्वेज में भी अपनी वो क्या कहते हैं रिपोर्ट आगे भेजनी है, लोगों में पहुंचानी है. उसके अलावा इंग्लिश में भी पहुंचानी है. उसके अलावा बहुत सारी मतलब अलग अलग तरीके से दे ट्राइड रीचिंग आउट टू पीपल. वन थिंग which is like, okay, this is an interesting observation and I was very surprised to know this. There is something called night articles जो यहाँ पे मोस्ट न्यूज़ एजेंसीज ही नहीं, सिर्फ मोस्ट न्यूज़ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नाइट आर्टिकल्स लिखते हैं. एंड डू यू नो व्हाट नाइट आर्टिकल्स आर? दे आर बेसिकली पॉजिटिव, मोटिवेशनल, इंस्पिरेशनल स्टोरीज. नथिंग रिलेटेड टू मतलब सरकार के फेवर में या सरकार के खिलाफ, वैसा कुछ नहीं. जस्ट लाइक जनरली फील गुड स्टोरीज जो एक न्यूज़लेटर की शक्ल में आपको आपके वीचैट पे आ जाएगा, यार इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग दैट चैनल या सब्सक्राइबिंग दैट चैनल तो आपको मिल जाएगा. एंड दीज नाइट आर्टिकल्स लाइक आई रेड अबाउट देम, दीज आर मेंट ताकि लोग जो पूरा दिन न्यूज़ कंटेंट कंज्यूम करते हैं, एंड यू नो न्यूज़ इज़ नॉट ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव, तो जो पूरा दिन न्यूज़ आर्टिकल और अलग अलग चीज़ें कंज्यूम करते हैं, रात को सोने से पहले वो कुछ पॉजिटिव, कुछ अच्छी चीज़ जो है एक्सपीरियंस करें, ताकि दैट इज़ द लास्ट मेमोरी दे हैव अबाउट समथिंग दैट दे रेड बिफोर दे स्लेप्ट. एंड दिस इज समथिंग आई डिस्कवर्ड बिकॉज मैंने बहुत सारे चाइनीज लोगों से भी बात की कि डिड यू नो दिस समथिंग कॉल्ड लाइक नाइट आर्टिकल्स. लाइक आई started following these channels and I kept getting these night articles and stuff. It's like I had read some of them but I had not thought about this in a way, क्योंकि इनके लिए तो यूजुअल है ना. मतलब हमारे यहाँ हम जब न्यूज़ कंटेंट कंज्यूम करते हैं, हमें तो पता है ना किस चैनल पे किस तरीके की न्यूज़ आएगी, कब क्या कंटेंट आएगा, अभी कुछ ब्रेकिंग हुआ तो उस तरीके का आएगा, तो इनके लिए वो चीज़ बहुत नॉर्मल थी. लेकिन मैंने पॉइंटेड आउट किया दिस इज़ नॉट समथिंग दैट हैपन्स एवरीवेयर. सो पीपल वर सरप्राइज कि लाइक क्या तुम्हारे यहाँ नहीं होते हैं नाइट आर्टिकल्स. मैंने कहा हमारे यहाँ नहीं होते हैं नाइट आर्टिकल्स, हमारे यहाँ तबाही, हम खबर चला के सो जाते हैं, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. तो नाइट आर्टिकल में लोगों को इंस्पिरेशनल मोटिवेशनल स्टोरीज रात के समय में, मतलब एक न्यूज़लेटर की शक्ल में भेजना, ताकि वो जब अपना इनबॉक्स खोले रात को सोने से पहले कोई अच्छी चीज़ पढ़ें तो अपने चेहरे पे मुस्कुराहट लेकर जो है फिर सोएं. तो आई फाउंड दैट गुड. आई थिंक न्यूज़ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तरह से जब आप सोचेंगे ना, तो बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी अब सोल्यूशन जर्नलिज्म पे फोकस क्यों कर रही हैं? क्योंकि द रीज़न इज लोग तंग आते हैं सिर्फ बुरी खबरें सुन सुन के. लोगों को भी अच्छी खबर सुननी है. तभी जब आप देखते हो ना कि हम कभी स्ट्रेट लाइन पे लाइट हार्टेड कंटेंट चलाते हैं, मतलब ज़बरदस्त कहीं पे कुछ अच्छा हो रहा है, कुछ फनी हो रहा है, या कोई बुजुर्ग हैं जो बहुत ज़बरदस्त बातें कर रहे हैं, तो वो चीज़ें जब हम शेयर करते हैं ना, उसका यही मकसद होता है कि यार लोग सीरियस खबरें, सरकार की आलोचना, पॉलिसीज़ की आलोचना, क्या ख़राब हो रहा है, क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, वो तो सुनते सुनते हैं. कुछ अच्छा भी सुने, कुछ खुशहाल सुने, कुछ ऐसा सुने जिससे मतलब मज़ा आए, जिससे उन्हें खुशी मिले. तो हम तो लेकिन दिन में कभी भी कर देते हैं. इधर नाइट आर्टिकल्स का चक्कर है. अब अनदर थिंग कि क्या यहाँ के मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में भी हमारा देश या बाकी देश उतना डिस्कस होते हैं? उतना नहीं. आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड, उतना नहीं. यहाँ मेरी एक अकेडमिशियन से, एक रिसर्चर से बात हो रही थी कि मतलब व्हाट इज़ द रीज़न. तो उसमें था कि यहाँ पर जो चीज़ खबर में आएगी वो इस बात पे डिपेंड करता है कि सरकार का एक देश को लेकर या फॉरेन पॉलिसी को लेकर क्या सोच है, वही रिफ्लेक्ट करता है मीडिया में भी. तो इफ अगर सरकार चाहती है कि किसी एक देश के ऊपर ज़्यादा फोकस करना है तो उसको लेकर आर्टिकल्स बढ़ जाएंगे, नहीं करना है तो कम हो जाएंगे. इट इज़ व्हाट इट इज़. सो दैट इज़ देयर. ओके, अब एक अच्छी चीज़ मैंने मीडिया को लेकर बोल दी, तो फूड. समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग दैट आई फाउंड अबाउट फूड. यहाँ पर इतने किस्म की चाय है कि मैं क्या बताऊँ. मैं अभी भी, मैं घर से ना वो क्या कहते हैं ताज टी के पैक लेके आई थी, और अभी तक वो बना के दूध पत्ती वाली चाय बना के पी रही हूँ. मुझे बहुत पसंद है अपने घर वाली चाय. लेकिन यहाँ पे भी कई किस्म की चाय, रोज टी, वाटरमेलन टी, जैस्मिन टी, कैमोमिल तो वगैरह सब जगह मिलती हैं, बट बहुत अलग अलग टाइप की चाय. मतलब एंड दीज आर नॉट ऑल हॉट टी. लाइक वाटरमेलन टी आप बनाते तो उसी तरीके से पानी में उबाल के हो, लेकिन इट इज़ आप उसे ठंडा करके पीते हो. तो मतलब बहुत वैरायटी की चाय मैंने यहाँ पे देख ली एंड ट्राई भी कर ली. फ्लावर टी इज़ एक्चुअली सो पॉपुलर हियर. अलग अलग फ्लावर्स की फ्लावर टी पीपल, क्रिसैंथेमम और पता नहीं किस किस तरीके के फ्लावर्स की पीपल ड्रिंक टी हियर. एंड इट्स द बेस्ट प्लेस जहाँ पर अगर आपको चाय पसंद है ना, तो आपको 1000 किस्म की चाय मिलती. और जैसे हमारे यहाँ किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाओ, सबसे पहले आपको क्या सर्व करता है? पानी सर्व करता है ना, क्या पानी पियो, या फिर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या करेंगे, गर्म पानी दे देंगे. यहाँ पे चाय तो इतना. आई वेंट टू अ रेस्टोरेंट, मैं वहाँ पे खाना खा रही हूँ, मैं चाय का कप, मतलब पहले उन्होंने दे दिया, तो चाय का कप पहले डाल के रख दिया होता कि चाय तो आपने पीनी है. वेरी लाइट टी. आई हैड 1 cup एंड आई स्टार्टेड ईटिंग माई फूड. देर इज़ 1 person, मतलब जो वहाँ पे एज अ वेटर या एज अ हेल्प वहाँ पे काम कर रहा है, उनका एक काम है, एक डेडिकेटेड पर्सन का काम है कि उसको चाय का कप खाली दिखाने की उसको भरना है. मतलब रेस्टोरेंट उसने 7 कप चाय पिला. लाइक मेरे सामने चाय होगी मैं तो पीऊंगी, राइट. मतलब नहीं भी चाह के, ऑब्वियसली खाना खाते खाते प्यास लगेगी, पानी पीने से बंदा सोचता है कि यार गर्म चीज़ पीनी चाहिए, डाइजेशन के लिए अच्छी होती है, तो आई टेक सिप. 7 कप चाय पी है मैंने, बिकॉज मैं उसको मना भी कर रही हूँ, लेकिन उस बंदी का काम ये है कि तुम्हें चाय पिलानी है, कि उसको यह कि यार ये कप खाली क्यों है. तो फिर मैंने उस दिन तो मैंने 7 कप चाय पी ली। फिर मैंने किसी से पूछा, मैंने कहा यार इससे कैसे बचा जाए कि बंदी चाय पे चाय पिलाई जा रही है। लोग कह रहे चाय भी कोई पीने की चीज़ है। इट वॉज नॉट लाइक मिल्क टी, इट वॉज लाइक अ फ्लावर टी, तो इट्स वेरी लाइट और चीनी वीनी भी नहीं होती, सिर्फ पानी और कुछ वो लाइक द एक्सट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम फ्लावर। इट्स वेरी लाइट, इट्स वेरी गुड एक्चुअली, टेस्टेड वेरी वेल। बट क्वेश्चन वॉज कि यार कितनी चाय पियो। तो फिर मैंने किसी चाइनीज लोगों से बात की। ओके, आई शुड डू सम ऑन चीन की चाय, आई शुड डू दैट। गुड सजेशंस। तो फिर मैंने क्या किया कि मैंने किसी चाइनीज बंदे से पूछा, मैंने कहा यार क्या चक्कर है, कितनी चाय पिलाएंगे। कहते इसके एक ट्रिक है, ट्रिक ये है कि जितनी तुमको पीनी है उतनी चाय तुम पियो, उसके बाद वो भर के छोड़ जाएंगे, तुमने पीना नहीं है। मैंने कहा यार पियेंगे नहीं तो ठंडी हो जाएगी, ऑब्वियस सी बात है, वेस्ट हो जाएगी। कहते नहीं, तुमने पिया तो वो दोबारा गिलास भर देंगे, तुमने पीना नहीं, उसको ठंडा ही छोड़ देना। कहते अगर तुम उसे ठंडा ही छोड़ दोगे वो 1 कप वेस्ट होगा, लेकिन तुम्हारी एनर्जी वेस्ट नहीं होगी। तो यहाँ पे ऐसे ही होता है। फूड वेस्टेज इज ह्यूज, व्हिच आई डोंट लाइक। मतलब खाने के पोर्शंस 200 रुपए में इतना बड़ा बोल पकड़ा देंगे जो एक बंदा तो कभी खत्म कर ही नहीं सकता, एक बंदे से होगा ही नहीं। लेकिन फिर भी, एंड इस वजह से मैंने देखा कि बहुत सारे लोग फूड वेस्ट करते हैं यहाँ पे। मतलब हमारे यहाँ तो खाना हल्का सा भी वेस्ट हो जाना ऐसे दिल में दुख होता है कि यार इतना अच्छा खाना वेस्ट हो रहा है। यहाँ पे लोग लाइक इवन दिल भी लाइक आधा बोल खाली छोड़ के फेंक देंगे एंड विल बी लाइक वी हैड सच गुड फूड टुडे। नो रियलाइजेशन कि आप खाना फेंक। तो फूड वेस्टेज इज वन थिंग आई डोंट लाइक। बट ये है खाने पीने को लेके, एंड ईटिंग विद चॉपस्टिक से खाने की आदत पड़ गई है। You can find forks and spoons also, but it's fun to eat with chopsticks. So, and this is something I need to tell you all because I didn't record it. I should have recorded this. लेकिन जब हमने साउथ एशिया 101 करवाया था तो हमने यहाँ पे इंडियन फूड मंगाया, एंड मेरे जो साथी थे जिनको केटरिंग संभालना था, उनको लगा कि यार यहाँ पे लोग कहाँ इंडियन फूड खाएंगे, सारे अंग्रेज बैठ के। इनको लगा होगा कि यार स्पाइसी फूड, oh my god, too much spice for me, I cannot have it. But people ate Indian food and enjoyed it so much, even though हमने कटलरी नहीं मंगाई, स्पून नहीं मंगाए, नाइफ नहीं मंगाया। इन लोगों को आदत है ना स्पून और नाइफ से खाना, हमने नहीं मंगाया। हमने कहा नान है, चावल है, हाथ से खाना खाओ। एंड लोगों ने हाथ से खाना खाया, और लगभग 70-80 लोग थे जो मतलब आई एम टॉकिंग लाइक हाई लेवल लोग, मतलब इवन सम पीपल जो यूएन से रिलेटेड अलग अलग जगह पे काम कर रहे, हाई लेवल के लोग, सबने हाथ से चुपचाप इंडियन खाना खाया है, मजे लिए हैं। वेजिटेरियन भी नॉन वेजिटेरियन भी दोनों टाइप का था। अभी नहीं था, 1 हफ्ते पहले था, और सबने मस्त, एक चावल का दाना नहीं बच रहा। हमारे दोस्त ना डब्बे हम लोग लेके आए थे कि यार इंडियन फूड मंगाया है, केटरिंग करवाई है, लोग अगर नहीं खाएंगे बच जाएगा, हमारे लिए अच्छा, लेफ्ट ओवर्स हम खाएंगे मजे से। एक चावल का दाना नहीं बचा, लोगों ने थालियां चाट चाट के खाना खाया है। और यहाँ पे लोग चाय से ऑब्सेस्ड हैं यार, बिकॉज आई थिंक यूएस एंड यूके में भी, बिकॉज मेरे कोहॉर्ट में सिर्फ चाइनीज ही नहीं है, हम अलग अलग देशों से, तो यूएस के भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं, यूके के भी हैं, यूरोप के हैं, बहुत सारी कंट्रीज के हैं। तो उधर भी लोगों को लाइक चाय का इतना क्रेज है ना, तो इफ आई मेंशन चाय, पीपल जस्ट लव चाय। तो समटाइम्स आई गॉट माई ओन केटल, आई मेक माई ओन चाय। समटाइम्स यू लाइक चाय दे तो चाय बनाओ यार, लाइक दिस इज गुड, दिस इज नाइस। सो उस दिन चाय तो नहीं थी, लेकिन इंडियन खाना था, एंड वी हैड नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड कि लोगों को इतना मतलब इतनी खुशी होगी इंडियन खाना खाने की। यू फील सो प्राउड ऑनेस्टली कि लोग डिस्पाइट नॉट हैविंग कटलरी, चम्मच से नहीं खाएंगे, हाथ से खाएंगे, लेकिन फिर भी मतलब एक चावल का दाना नहीं बचा, वो उस चीज़ की खुशी होती है कि मतलब यहाँ पे इतना फूड वेस्ट होता है। और उस दिन लोगों ने हमारा खाना खाने के बाद डाइनिंग हॉल में जाकर खाना खाया, क्योंकि उनको और भूख लगी हुई थी, और उतना खाना हमारे पास था नहीं, लिमिटेड था। लेकिन जो खुशी हुई है ना उस दिन, जो दिल को सुकून मिला, वो मैं क्या बताऊँ, मतलब मज़ा आ गया था उस। सो डू सेंड सम गुड चाय। यार ये चीज़ समझ नहीं आ रही कि मैं यहाँ से सामान भेजूँ कैसे। मैं भी चाहती हूँ कि मैं यहाँ से सामान भेजूँ, यू नो व्हाई, बिकॉज सम थिंग्स आर लाइक रियली रियली चीप हियर। आई गॉट गुड पेयर ऑफ लॉन्ग बूट्स फॉर लाइक 150 rupees or 200 rupees. I got like amazing winter jackets for like 240 Indian rupees. I got gadgets for so cheap. Like क्या बताऊँ मैं। And like good quality stuff. I got dresses for so cheap. Like मेरे कि यार वापस कैसे भेजूँ मैं। वापस भेजने को तरीका नहीं है मेरे पास। It is. यार 12:30 बज गए. I was hoping for this to be like a 10-15 minute live. I didn't know this would go on for so long, but thank you for all those who joined. I will be posting some of these vlogs and videos. I hope कि आप वो videos भी देखें, वो vlogs भी देखें, उन्हें भी उतना ही प्यार दें जितना आप इस live में दे रहे हैं. And मेरे यहाँ तो बहुत रात है. I don't know वहाँ पे कितना टाइम हो रहा है. I think 10 बज रहे होंगे. So thank you कि इतनी लेट रात को आप लोगों ने लाइव ज्वाइन किया है. इवन तो मेरी आवाज़ बहुत कम है, इसमें बहुत लो ऑडियो में मैं बोल रही हूँ, फिर भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आप लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया. एंड भूलना मत मुझे. दोबारा स्ट्रेट लाइन पे आएंगे, दोबारा अपने पेज पे आएंगे. भूलना मत मुझे. See ya.